Guys, today is the 9th of December 2019 at 20 minutes past 12 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and North Korea claimed a success in a very important test satellite launch at their satellite launch site. This was on December the 8th. State media says tests will change regime's strategic position amid further tensions with the US over its nuclear ambitions. North Korea has reportedly carried out a very important test at its Sohae satellite launch site, a rocket testing ground that US officials once said North Korea had promised to close. The test, reported by state news agency KCNA, comes as North Korea has warned it could take a new path amid stalled denuclearization talks with the US and its year-end deadline nears. As I've talked about in many videos, North Korea gave the US till the end of the year to, come up with an agreement between the two countries that would avert further escalations in the potential war between the two countries and eventually the world. That has kind of fallen apart completely, with Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un returning to Rocket Man and dotard language they were using, when the rhetoric was at its height and when tensions were at their most serious. So this test, I think, which they're suggesting is very important, they did it at their satellite launch site, which means that they possibly have perfected a re-entry vehicle, and then that re-entry vehicle would obviously need to be tested in an actual Icbm launch. It's one of the events I'm looking out for from North Korea, because that's the one thing that experts and everything say that North Korea hasn't quite achieved, is the re-entry vehicle that would enable them to launch something like this and have it come back down wherever they so choose, the United States, if that's the case. So I've got potential watch dates for that particular event, and it's in a video on my channel. Warning: December, golden showers, cult, and Icbm, SLBM, and nuke North Korea. So the 12/13 is in there. That's December 13th, Friday the 13th. Obviously, even in this little image here, you can see that the missile could be an F just here for Friday, and you've also got the potential for the number 13. Obviously, some people see that as an unlucky day, and it may be North Korea have an Icbm launch on that day, proving that they can actually hit the United States and other countries that are quite far away from them. So that's just one news story and something to keep a potential lookout for. Obviously, the other date I've got on watch for this Icbm launch is December 23rd, and then I've got the nuclear thing in my mind for December 31st. Next. Now, when I read this story, reading Iran's Shiite Crescent made me think of the scene in the iPad Goat 2 video where we have Osama bin Laden, Iran, that whole representation there, and you've got the red crescent hanging above, and that could be a reference to Iran's Shiite Crescent rising up and coming forward, missiles. Also, at the same time, you could have an ISIS Al-Qaeda connection, because Osama bin Laden is from Afghanistan. Afghanistan could be involved. He was found in Pakistan, so Pakistan could be involved. We know India's in this video, and those two countries rising up against each other would be pretty catastrophic as well, considering they're both nuclear nations. So I thought that might be connected, and that's possibly, that crescent in the video is possibly a reference to Iran's Shiite crescent, and them coming up against Israel. And obviously, in relation to that, Israel test fired a missile on December 6th. Now, December 6th, I had a watch on my channel for a missile launch. Nothing to do with Israel. I was looking at for North Korea, but as that date passed, I deleted that date from the title and just left it moving forward. As I'm just, as it goes by, okay, forget that one, concentrate on the next one. But there was a launch and it was from Israel, and they say it was, well, Israel haven't confirmed what the test was, but people are saying it was like a nuclear missile test, and Iran was saying it was aimed towards them, not literally, but the test was aimed at going towards Iran eventually in the future. So that's all building up right around now. And again, in this scene, just in the clouds above, as I've talked about many times, you've got the 31 reference, which could be December 31st or January the 3rd, but it could also be December 13th. And that's obviously, again, reference to Friday the 13th. If we're having potential missile launch from somewhere, maybe North Korea, Icbm, we could have situations around the Middle East as well. Because also in this video, we do have the planes, which I think are related to Israel and the Middle East and the United States, the B-2 bombers, 3 of them, firing that one missile, which gives us a 3-1 reference, again 31st, or 1-3 reference, 13th. Then we get the 5 in response. If you're taking the 1 missile, bringing out the 5, then you've got a 15 reference. So that could be just 2 days after. Then you've got the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln, those missiles likely fired from a submarine. Both Iran and North Korea have been in the news a lot about submarines, so too have Russia. So there's a lot of potential activity there, but all of this looks like it takes place around the same time as the event with Donald Trump. And the 15th is a date I have on watch for Donald Trump, as well as the 12th. So if it's a sequence of events, 12th, Donald Trump potentially, 13th, war, Israel, United States Army going for Iran. Of course, if they blame on Iran, I don't know. And then the 15th, Iran's response, and so on and so forth. Again, it may not be that timing, because I've also got the Donald Trump watch for the 25th and other dates. In fact, I can't remember all the dates, but it is, sorry, it's on my channel here somewhere. Just quickly find it. So these are the Trump event watch dates: 12/12, 12/15, 12/25, 12/26, 12/27, 12/30. 12/12. I hate when that happens. 1 second. Well, let me go back. Okay, I'll sort that out in a minute. I'll have to go and search again for the Icbm 2 video. But moving on anyway. The next one is Donald Trump preparing for war. Of course he is. A leaked plan shows 14,000 US troops along Iran's border, and obviously that's been building up steadily over the months, where they first blamed Iran for, the tankers and everything, so send more troops and more troops and more troops. Relatively small numbers in terms of thousands, but they're building up very quickly. If this is sending 14,000, then that will be joining the number of thousands that are already, in the Middle East, stationed around, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, for example. So again, that's just all building up in these couple of days. Watch for war in Middle East, Friday 13th. That's just in 4 days' time. This could all be leading up to that. Again, keep an eye out. Don't know if it's going to happen, but just put in the warning. Russia, again, with Iran, we're looking at even a Russian nuclear firm halting project with Iran due to the Iranians resuming uranium enrichment. And we know that uranium enrichment is one of the events that leads to, Middle East conflict. So again, that's on schedule. Keep going. This is as Iran says it's ready to unveil new generations of centrifuges. And obviously these pieces of equipment are vital in enriching uranium, producing heavy water, which allows them to basically keep the radiation levels contained within their cooling tanks and stuff like that. I'm not a nuclear scientist, so go and do your research if you want to know a bit more. And just coming into all of this, Russia, Iran and China to hold a naval exercise, naval war games later this month, December 27th. That comes after the eclipse? Yep, the eclipse is on December 26th, I believe. Then you got December 27th. So regarding time zones, it may be December 26th in one region, December 27th in another region, but they'll be holding this exercise in the Indian Ocean, which is the region which will actually experience the eclipse. So again, if that's related to the iPad Go 2 video, which I'll quickly need to search. Then we may be seeing that all connected. In association with this scene here. This scene here. Possible eclipse in the background, but also the Shiite crescent. Iran, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all that region just seems to be encoded into this particular scene here. And that doesn't even bring into mind the other watches that will be on point that day, such as the volcanic eruption and tsunami, with the one seed missing and the 3 other seeds. There's one of the interpretations for that, the 13th. The main thing, however, left kind of to the end, is the House is going to be voting on impeachment on Friday the 13th. And I'm trying to get to the house behind the head. It's always a difficult one to get on. Just wait for it 1 second. Should come up now. Okay, here we go. So you can see 1, 3, pretty obvious. Maybe 1, 2 on the other side. House on fire. Many different interpretations for that. Not going to go through them all, but just focusing on the House in terms of Congress voting on Friday the 13th for impeachment. But you've also got the interpretation for the missile, which is up here, being a reference to a urination cult. And if the two are linked, because they both have a potential connection to the number 13, if the two are linked, then it could be this information causes the House to go up in metaphorical flames during their impeachment vote. So, with that in mind, there's a lot to watch for. And I'm going to be doing my best to stay on top of the reports that are coming out, seeing how they link to the video, and giving you my thoughts and ideas. Because that's all these really are. I can't say they're prophecies or predictions, because they're not. They are literally just interpretations of this video, which I believe has been created by people who are able to tell us in code what is happening, because they are part of making it happen. There's nothing predictive in that. So you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.